Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my overly ambitious, isn't it always, September TBR. But before hopping too far into it, if you're new here, hello, my name is Emily. This is MacInnis Mama, where you'll find mostly bookish content with the occasional gardening style video thrown in, as I'm passionate about reading and learning to grow food for my family. This month we will of course be doing TBR Star Hop. I follow Stephanie Bookverse's rules. I have been all year as a way to challenge myself and diversify my reading a little bit. And we'll of course be playing Becca's Bookopoly as well, which I'm very excited about. I will be doing 5 rolls. Of course, if we get doubles, that increases from there, but hopefully just the 5. I'm actually going to be starting with Becca's Bookopoly first and then doing TBR Star Hop, and hope we can have some crossover. So I'm going to be cutting clips in of doing the rolls. So I hope this video won't be too long. I don't have very long to film it, so let's just hop right in. All right, we've got to be quick. I'm doing 5 rolls, and let's go. Doubles mean another roll. 6. People on the cover. All right, first roll, we got people on the cover. For that, I am using Foundry Side by Robert Jackson Bennett. I was supposed to read this in August, but I did not get around to it. This is the start of an adult fantasy series where you can recode inanimate objects as the magic system, something like that. I don't know. Sounds really interesting. This book was gifted to me by Stephanie from Stephanie's Bookverse, and it's her channel read along that I hope to participate in. So I need to read this and would hope to fit Shorefall, the second book, in here as well, so I can continue on and catch up with the buddy read. But as you can see, there's a person on the cover. Let's do roll number 2. Roll number 2. 5. Publish or set 1999 or before. A book published or set in 1999 or before. I kind of struggled with this one, to be honest. I was considering putting on a historical romance because I kind of want to dabble in that genre a little bit, but then spooky season is coming up and I want to read my very first horror. I don't think I've ever read a true horror book. So this is the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. I have this out from the library, and this is following a book club of like 90s housewives. I checked in here because I didn't know exactly the time period, but in some of the chapter headings it says the date. So this says November 1988, and then I flipped through trying not to look too closely. One of the last ones is November 1996, so definitely set before 1999, so it works for this prompt. Apparently this is gory and disgusting, and I am a big wuss, so this might be a DNF for me. I have no idea, but I want to give it a try. I want to be one of the cool kids who has read this book. Roll number 3. 7. Favorite setting. Next up, I got favorite setting, and I actually had to think about this for a little bit, and I came up with 2 options. And now that I have my book in my hand, I'm kind of thinking maybe I could have combined my options. Firstly, magical school setting. Love that trope / setting. And secondly, like foresty fae world. Do you know what I mean? So I chose ACOTAR because this is going to be a reread for me. I'm reading this for Christina's chapters and Hannah's recent reads read along. I read this book in 2018 knowing that Akamath is people's favorite book of all time, but I never continued. I even knew that in 2018 that Akamath, the second book, was everyone's favorite, and I was like, oh, I'll get to it. Here we are, 2022, rereading this and hopefully reading the rest of the series for the first time. And this has like a Fae foresty kind of setting. You know what I mean? It might be a stretch. I was considering standing here, talking to you, that maybe I should put Zodiac Academy in here because that's like a Fae foresty setting and a magical school, but I'm just going to go with my gut, what I picked already with Aquitar. I think everyone knows what this is about, right? Feyre kills a wolf in the woods while trying to hunt.
Oh, Mom. I'm going to pin my butt cheek.
Gross. You guys are chaotic.
You bit my butt cheek.
Feyre is hunting to feed her family. She's hunting in the woods. She kills a wolf, but it turns out it was actually a Fae. It goes from there. I'm really excited for a reread. Rule number 4. 11. Features a death. Rule number 4, I got features a death. I feel like that could be literally any fantasy book ever, and I'm ashamed to say I'm putting Ruin by John Gwynne here. Yes, I promised that I would read it in August, and I wanted to. And I would have, but my mom borrowed it before I could get a chance, and I don't have it back yet. My mom lives kind of far away, even though she has finished it, so I will get that hopefully in September. Oops. Ruin is the third book in the Faithful and the Fallen quartet by John Gwynne. Prophecy, epic, grimdark, fantasy, very adult, very giant, intimidating books, which is why it's been on every TBR for like the last 6 months. Final roll number 5. 9. Most recent purchase. 5th and final roll. I'm honestly surprised that I didn't get any doubles. Semi-disappointed I didn't get any doubles because I was expecting to have more than 5 rolls, but I'll take what I can get. If I finish my TBR early, which you will see that's probably not going to happen, maybe I'll roll again and just see what we get. Or if I'm like struggling to choose and I've read these 5 books, maybe I can roll again and see if I can fit TBR Star Hop books into it. I don't know. I got most recent purchase, which really doesn't leave me with any choice. However, I really wanted to fit this in September. Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. Everyone is reading this right now, I feel like, and I want to be in on the hype. However, I made the mistake of looking on Goodreads, and some of my favorites are rating it 1 and 2 stars, and then others of my favorites are rating it 5 stars, saying it's their favorite book of the year. I have no idea where I will fall. I tend to be anti-hype, which makes me really nervous. I don't mean to be, it's just what seems to happen. This is Gossip Girl meets The Addicted, Calloway Sisters series meets the UK, Euphoria, I don't know, rich kid, super angsty romance. And I don't know. I really hope I love this. I think the cover is so interesting and I want to read all of the books. I only bought the first one just in case I don't like it, but I even bought annotating supplies. Why am I struggling? Because people are annotating the crap out of this book and I hope I love it so I can annotate it too. Some people DNF it at 10%. So really nervous, but this is the final book on Becca's Bookopoly or Bookoplathon TBR. So that's not too bad. This is the stack plus ruin, which is like this big. So, I mean, when I hold it like this, that's pretty intimidating, but also I am very excited about all of these books. Now let's hop into September TBR Star Hop. Stephanie's Bookverse uploaded a little bit later than usual, so I've had these books picked out for a while, but when I'm filming this, she literally just uploaded that a little bit earlier today. So I watched it, picked out my books. So I feel a little rushed, but that's also kind of the point. She picks her books as she rolls. So I guess mine is a little more authentic this month. Sometimes I like try and think it through way too much. Anyways, as always, Stephanie playing her TBR game is linked down below if you want to watch her play it, see the rolls as they happen, see what books she picks, of course. Please watch that and then come back here. I will be just simply stating what the prompt was and what book I picked. All right. TBR Star Hop wasn't overly mean, but also not the nicest. Before getting into it, let's see if I completed my August TBR Star Hop. For August, I needed to read a book over 500 pages, which was Ruin. I did not read that. Second was a standalone. I put Beach Read by Emily Henry. I did read that. 3, hardcover, They Never Learn by Lane Fargo, right? I did read that. And 4th, a 3-word title, The Finish Line by Kate Stewart, and I did read that. I read 3 out of 4. 4 books on TBR Star Hop in August, and I didn't do it. That is honestly embarrassing. I read more than 4 books, but I didn't read the 4 books I set aside. So for my punishment, I reached into my TBR or like my wormhole. I just do a random number generator with a spreadsheet, and the series I got that I have to continue and it can't fit on my TBR Star Hop rolls was the Plated Prisoner series by Raven Kennedy. I'm up to Gleam. So I did order that. It's on its way to me. It's a pretty chunky fantasy romance book, King Midas retelling, 3rd book out of 5. 4 are currently out. I am really excited to continue on that series this month, but also a little nervous that it couldn't fit on my TBR Star Hop rolls, and clearly I didn't fit it on my Bookopoly TBR either. So things are getting a little overly ambitious. Okay, now for September, roll number 1 was 2, I think it was 2 stars, so you had to combine them. It was a friend pick and an audiobook. Stephanie listens to way more audiobooks than I do, so I changed the audiobook to like Kindle Unlimited. And so I got my best friend Rebecca. She is Reads with Rebecca. I will link her down below to pick out a book off of KU for me to read. She chose Stolen Air by Sophie Lark, the 2nd book in the Brutal Birthright series. This is a mafia romance set in Chicago. This is Captor Captive. So I am excited to read that, and I've never read a Captor Captive. I haven't had much experience with dark romance. I did read the first one, Brutal Prince, really liked it, and I'm excited to continue. I did forget to mention, although it was probably in the title, that this was 2 TBR games and 2 readathons. I forgot to mention I hope to participate in the Twisted and Taboo readathon. I heard about this from Sam Reads a Little, but there's a whole list of hosts. I can link the Instagram stuff down below, and Stolen Air will work for both Mafia and Captor Captive on their bingo board. It's in the middle of September, so I will wait to read that for then. Roll number 2 was less than 300 pages with a unique magic system. This was a double moon prompt. Again, you need to combine them. As I am a part of Stephanie Bookverse's Patreon, I am copying her book pick for this, and I am putting Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher on here, as this is our Patreon buddy read, and it is 240 pages, and this is a dark fairy tale retelling with some kind of bone magic. That is all I know about it. It has creepy end papers, and I think this will be perfect coming into spooky season as well. I'm happy I'm getting quite a bit of fantasy, quite a bit of darker themed things on my TBR this month, and this is relatively short, and I already had it open the library because I was always already interested in reading it and was very happy that it was the Patreon pick for September. Third roll was a mood read. I can read any book that's not otherwise listed on this TBR on this for the month. What is happening? Because they're clearing the table for supper, and of course World War III needs to break out. Mood read, any book I want through the month, you get it. Number 4 was a middle grade. For that, I'm going to continue The Subtle Knife by Philip Pullman. I did start just a little bit. I'm a couple chapters in, and I do have the audiobook out from my library, and I would like to finish that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sticky note with Emmett's note on it. This is a polar fantasy with heavy Catholic themes or Catholic-like themes. I don't know, some sort of religious themes in here. And I've had this big bind up since I was a child, and I just want to finish the series. So I think his Dark Materials is middle grade or on the younger side of YA, I believe. So that's what I'm choosing. Roll number 5 was Sprayed Edges. However, I looked on my shelves. I literally do not have a single book with sprayed edges. I do not buy special editions. I typically buy my books secondhand or get them from the library for the most part. And if I do buy a book, it's not usually a special edition that I'm going to pay extra money for, if I'm just being honest. So I went to my mini TBR Star Hop cards from the Readathon that she hosted before, shuffled up the moon prompts, that's what it was. And I got hardcover, so I just swapped it out that way.
Read the book.
Thank you for the book. So I put the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. This is a hardcover from the library, and I had this on my Bookoplathon TBR, so I wanted to cross those together.
Yay! Next book.
That's enough. Thank you. Hold on. Roll number 6 was a one-word title. For that, I'm putting in Foundry Side by Robert Jackson Bennett. I'm sorry my life is so noisy, the kids, and my husband is welding in the yard. I already spoke on this. This is Stephanie's channel read along and was gifted to me by her. Roll number 7 was another one I was able to cross over with Bookoplathon. It was a book between 400 and 500 pages. I'm putting Akatar on here, and this is 416 pages. Again, already spoke about this. Happy to have it on both TBR so it doesn't keep getting bigger, because roll number 8 was a graphic novel. For that, I put in Monstrous Volume 3. I'm trying to keep reading these on a semi-regular basis because this world is very confusing. It is high fantasy, kind of horror-ish, kind of steampunk-ish. It has a really interesting art style. Definitely has darker themes. Adult graphic novel, did I say that? I couldn't even really tell you what this is about. We're following this girl who has a monster inside of her, and she's trying to find out what happened to her mother while also trying to stay alive, basically. There's a lot going on in here with gods, monsters. I do love that these are, in this world, it's mostly women. There's very few male characters that I've come across so far. It's matriarchies, but also just even a lot of the side characters are female as well, which is very interesting. So that was it for September's TBR Star Hop. That was 8 books. That is still quite a lot. I mean, 7 books I just shared plus the mood read, and then the 5 books for Bookoplathon, but I was able to cross over some of them. I do have one more hopeful. I don't know if this will end up being read in September. I have Akamath here. I don't know how fast the buddy read or like the read along for this is going to go, if I do need to start this in September or if it's October's pick. I am not entirely sure, but this is like a hopeful. So this is what my TBR stack looks like, plus Ruin, plus Gleam, plus Stolen Air. Oh boy. I am not going to be able to finish this. TBR Star Hop is always my priority, and again, if I do not complete my TBR Star Hop, which were 8 books plus Gleam, I have to randomize a book from my wormhole jar, which just means I need to continue series, which I desperately need. If you didn't see the series I need to finish style video I did recently, I'm in the middle of way too many. I briefly mentioned the Twisted and Taboo Readathon in mid-September. Their group book is Forbidden Obsession. This is a stalker romance, and they also have a serial killer spot on the bingo board. So I did put in Sidetracked, the second book in the Mindfuck series. That's a very short novella. I might be able to squeeze that in. And 2 more books maybe I could squeeze in, probably not. Pen Pal by J.T. Geisinger is the book club pick for 2 different book clubs, Cover to Cover and Ode of Bounds. And this is like an erotic thriller, not a romance. So I just thought spooky. I don't know. It's not very long either, I don't think. And then Cami from Burrows and Books and somebody else, I'll put them on the screen, started a new book club I just saw on Instagram today. And their first book, it's going to be all monster romances. Their first book is Morning Glory Milking Farm, which I do have out from KU, and that is a Minotaur romance. Very short, and if I can fit it in, I might give it a try. I think it's going to be super weird, but again, that's just a maybe. That's a ton of books in my September TBR. There is no way I'm going to get through all of them. Let me know in the comments down below which books I should prioritize and for sure read this month. Ruin and Gleam being my top 2 priorities. Neither of them are in my possession so far. And I have read 2 books already since September started, as this is going up a little bit late. Neither of them were on this list. What is wrong with me? If you did enjoy today's video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.